Good afternoon. Today is the 4th of March and we're back in Hampshire in some rather nice surroundings here. And today I wanted to talk about whether or not you should specify a car with an automatic gearbox. So believe it or not, there are a lot of different definitions of what an automatic gearbox is. There's lots of different types of automatic gearboxes. I don't want to get too much into the different types of automatic gearbox, but I just want to define actually what an automatic gearbox actually is. So a normal manual gearbox has a lever, normally in the centre console of a car, or a little bit up the dashboard, or in some rare cases on the steering column itself. And it has a lever that's manually operated by the driver to select whatever speed, normally using a clutch pedal to press the clutch down and then to select the different gears. That's what a manual gearbox is. An automatic gearbox is one you normally just put into a drive position and then just leave it. You don't have to select the gears yourself, although on some cars you can select the gears if you want. But an automatic gearbox is one that most of the time you just put it into drive and you leave it. You don't select the individual gears yourself whilst the car is driving along. Some cars have a semi-automatic gearbox. The two things that spring to mind in this are the old Saab Sensonic that was sold in the 1990s. That was also called a clutchless manual, in that you could select the gears yourself, and in fact you had to, but you didn't press the clutch pedal to do that. The clutch pedal was automatic. Also, the Citroen DS from the 50s right through to the 70s, but also had on most of the models a semi-automatic gearbox, similar to the Saab Sensonic, or that wasn't electronic. There was no clutch pedal, but you could select the gears manually yourself with a little gear lever on the steering column. So that's generally a good definition then of automatic, semi-automatic and manual gearboxes. Different manufacturers call automatic gearboxes different things. Some will call it a DSG, some will call it a CVT, some will call it a robotized manual, and some will call it a torque converter. All these are different types of automatic gearboxes, or a dual clutch. I'm not going to go into what these different things mean, just suffice it to say that those are all types of automatic gearbox. So what are the advantages of just sticking with a manual gearbox? Some cars are only available as a manual. There's no automatic option. My wife's MG3 is an example of this. It's only offered with a 5-speed manual gearbox. There's no automatic option. Some cars, you can't actually get a manual at all either. For example, the Volkswagen Polo GTI, the new one, you have to have an automatic gearbox. You can't get a manual. The Peugeot 508, the new one, that only comes with a manual gearbox on one particular engine out of 5. So automatic gearboxes are gaining in popularity at the moment. On certain cars, you can only have one or the other. You can't actually have a choice in that matter. But let's suppose that you do have a choice and it's between an automatic and manual gearbox. A good example of this would be something like the Seat Toledo that I have. That was available with an automatic and a manual on the same engine and trim. So a manual gearbox is generally cheaper. Very often they also used to get better fuel economy than automatic gearboxes traditionally. Some people like me, they really like the feel of having a manual gearbox and being able to select the gears yourself. It's particularly good when driving on twisty roads. So those are some of the advantages of having a manual gearbox. Some of the advantages of an automatic gearbox are that you just don't have so much to do. A lot of mistakes while you're driving can be by putting the car in the wrong gear, or not correctly selecting the gear, pushing the clutch not very smoothly, things like that. Having to change a clutch can be a pain. That can be £400 to £500. Semiautomatic, as long as you regularly service the gearbox by changing the fluids and the filter in the automatic transmission, that can run for a very long time. I once had a 20-year-old car that had an automatic gearbox, and that was fine. The gearbox was really smooth. It was a Honda gearbox in that particular car, and it was brilliant. Didn't have to worry about whether it's going to burn out or anything like that, which clutches can burn out. You can burn them out very quickly if you want. Also in a city, it's much easier to drive with an automatic transmission. You just want peace of mind as well, just putting the gearbox into drive and not worrying about it. Also, electric cars don't come with a manual option at all very much. They generally only come with some kind of automatic gearbox, and in some cases they don't even need a gearbox at all. They just have one speed, and the car produces so much torque anyway, you don't even need any kind of gearbox whatsoever. So a lot of it will come down to personal preference in your own situation. The other day I was driving back from Gatwick Airport, and I really wanted to have an automatic gearbox because I was stuck in heavy traffic, and of course I was in a manual car because both our cars we have a manual, and that was a pain. Equally, sometimes I've been driving automatics and I've been so frustrated that I don't have the same control that I would just to change up a gear early or to hold a gear down to get more performance. That can be frustrating. So it really depends on your personal preference and whether you want to save money by sticking with a manual. So I hope you found that video useful. Please don't forget to like this video, to share it, and to subscribe if you'd like to do that. My website is www.lloydvehicleconsulting.co.uk. My Facebook page is facebook.com/Lloyd Vehicle Consulting. If you wish me to source a car for you, whether it's an automatic or a manual, I'm very happy to do that. Please get in touch via my website. Thank you very much indeed for watching.